got baby face, me big boss man. Me like America, me got good plan. Mexico water make Gulf US away. Me make Zelensky say thanks to my face. Me got baby face, me got big cheer. Trump bad, Trump good, me no care. Me write big book, kill billies and stuff. Now me import and wear tie act tough. Me go Yale school, me learn big word. Now me forget everything me heard. Silicon people give me job, me take. Now me like Trump, me make no mistake. Yo, it's JD Advance. Fight walk folk, me say never die. Me protect kids, me born liberal. Him, them, there. America simple, only two gender. Me face, me big boss man. Me like America, me got good plan. Mexico water make Gulf US of A. Me make Zelensky say thanks to my face. Too many gender for my agenda. Went on a bender, execo the sender. Might take Panama just like na. Might take Gaza, pop then a plaza. Vibes with this one majesty.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome into CobraCast 199. I am your host, Jeremy Prime, Mage IDOT of Unit 199. Happy to see all of you here on a Wednesday. Hope everybody is having a good day, getting ready for Christmas, watching Christmas movies, just hanging out, enjoying the cold weather. It's also football season. This is the best time of the year. Weather is perfect. Football is good. Christmas movies, video games, politics, all the things that make this the most wonderful time of the year. Memes, you got to add memes to the equation, okay? I mean, you got to. And yeah, man. So hi, everyone. Good to see all of you. Football sucks. I'm just going to make this whole fucking episode about football now. I'm going to make the whole fucking episode about football because you complained. We got the college football playoffs, Alabama, Oklahoma. We got the NFL playoff picture that is starting to take shape. The Dolphins have a shot. I can't believe it. They're 6-7. They won 4 games in a row. If they win out, they'll be 10-7. Need some help, but they could make the playoffs. All right, I won't talk about football anymore. But that's what happens when you complain. Okay? That's what happens when you complain. But anyway, hope you're all doing well. I should start a sports channel so I can talk sports. I should do that. I might just start a sports channel so we can talk sports. That's a really good idea. Man, if only I had thought about that, you know? It's a really good idea, though. Alex says, I like football cast, dude. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Slick Gossip says, I have to watch 4 movies on Christmas Day. Home Alone 1 and 2, Jingle All the Way, and Muppets Christmas Carol. You almost have the perfect list because all of these movies I approve of. The only movie I will add is the first Santa Claus. The first Santa Claus movie, and you have the perfect 5 Christmas movies right there. Home Alone 1, Home Alone 2, Jingle All the Way, Muppets Christmas Carol, and the Santa Claus. That's it. That's perfect. It's over at that point. So I like your list, though. It's a good list. Good stuff. Waffle Master over on Rumble says football is great football. Soccer is gay. By the way, for my lovely Rumble audience, Unicycle Peon, and was it Dark Star? I missed 3 super chats from you guys. Eric, Jess, Cam, man, let me know if they're over in the chat so I can let them know that that's my apologies. And I even saw Unicycle Peon go, he missed my super chats, but the most important thing is he got them. I'm like, that's nice. I'm so sorry, man. I had them pulled up and everything. So the first Santa Claus with Tim Allen, yes, binary recoil. The first Santa Claus with Tim Allen. I like the second one too. I like the second one a lot, actually. And the third one, I have trouble remembering the third one. But yeah, the second Santa Claus is really good, but the first one is amazing. It really is. I love that movie. But those the Home Alone 1, 2, Jingle All the Way, Muppets Christmas Carol, which is unmatched, and then Santa Claus. Packet Proton says gay Phil Murphy trying to take our plastic forks and knives away. Sadly, New Jersey is a commie state. Save us, Trump. God, Trump's got so much to save, it's out of control. Jared the American tweets on says, I've been MIA. Is the pool house no more? No, I was there last week. I made a video from the pool house. So the pool house is still there, but I'm here in Orlando now. So I'll be back and forth. Jared the American says, last super chat for a while. Thanks a lot, idots199. Well, I hope everything's good, Jared. I appreciate you, man. You can still be in the chat, so hopefully we'll see you here, brother. And Jeanette with the Get the Membership. Thank you. Ort. Football sucks. So does soccer. Soccer is the biggest sport in the world, man. So you can't even like. It's crazy how massive soccer is worldwide. Okay, so there's obviously been a lot to talk about. And a lot of that is centering around one Candace Owens. Candace Owens has been crazy lately, and everybody's losing their minds over it. And it's just continuing to get more chaotic by the minute, the more she talks. And now everybody's fighting about it. And guess who finally responded? Erica Kirk. Erica Kirk has responded, ladies and gentlemen. We've been waiting for this for a while, and it looks like it finally happened. But this is not before Candace basically says that the U.S. military was involved with Charlie Kirk's assassination. Yes, Candace Owens said that. I'm like, what are we doing at this point? Like, it's just so crazy, man. Right here. It feels like today will be the day that the government can no longer deny it. Charlie Kirk was assassinated and our military was involved. I can't wait to share this information with you guys today. It's just, all you can do is laugh at it. What else are you supposed to do? It's just hilarious. I truly just think that it's funny. I'm not offended by what she's saying. I'm not upset by what she's doing. It's just laughable. The worst part is that there are people that are believing every word of what she's saying, which is that's the real funny part of it. There are people that are just like, again, these are the same people that believe every word that Ian Carroll said, believe every word that every single anti-Israel person told them. And Candace is just doing more of that. That's all she's doing. She is a product of the anti-Israel movement. She's basically said, hey, we could just say dumb shit and people will believe it. And then they'll accuse everybody who doesn't agree with them of that very thing. That's what this is. And so here she is right here.
Okay, so the story I'm about to tell you guys today is so unbelievable that you know it has to be the truth. It's so detailed. We fact-checked everything that we could, and it has to be a God thing. It's the only way that this could have landed in my lap from the person that it came from. I don't even know what to say about this. You're just going to be amazed, and your jaw is going to be on the floor like mine was when I learned this. And this kind of gets into that mysterious last trip to Asia that Charlie took. The timing of that was very strange. Okay.
It really is. It is evil what she's doing, but it's also expected. You know, This is what a decentralized media looks like. So you have to take the good with the bad. You have to take the, crazy insanity with the authentic out there. You can't pick and choose who can and can't have a voice. That's why I'm not overly offended by anything she's saying, because you either get what I grew up with, which is, the big three or the big four major networks to just tell you what they want you to believe, or you get a decentralized media, which is what we have. And when you have that, you're going to have a lot of bullshit out there that is being pushed. And it's up to people to counter that or what, so that's why I just don't find this to be overly offensive at all. And so Jeremy is biased. Tim Pool made a horse's ass of himself. What am I biased against? Are you saying that I'm biased in favor of Tim Pool? Have you ever watched my show? If I'm biased, who am I biased for? You're saying I'm biased to take up for Tim Pool? What the fuck are you talking about? This entire show is built off of memeing on Tim Pool. Jesus, Candace fans are the most retarded motherfuckers on the planet. To think that I'm biased towards Candace or towards Tim Pool versus Candace Owens. Holy shit. Okay, Samsung's right. Okay, my bad. Samsung clarified it. Samsung clarified. Your bias against hosting a good stream. Okay, all right, that makes a lot of sense right there. That makes a lot of sense. That I agree with there. But yeah, so I went off on Tim the other day. I was laughing at Tim. I'm not a Tim Pool fan. I'm not a Tim Pool supporter. I spend more of my time grifting off of Tim Pool and memeing on him. So to tell me that I am biased and that Tim made an ass of himself is like, yeah, he does that every day. And I take full advantage every opportunity I can. But Candace Owens she's absolutely, people are right when because I always say Candace is super, super smart. She is smart, but that doesn't mean she's not crazy. But you could be smart and crazy at the same time. And she's absolutely both of these things. She is very smart. She's very methodical. She knows what she's doing, but she's also a lunatic. Both of these things can be true, and they are true. And we're seeing that right here playing out right in front of our very eyes. So she's kind of been going to war with Tim, and so right here, she responds to Tim. The very obvious thing going on here is that Tim has been trying to sell his business and is in financial trouble. He is now effectively trying out to be another unhinged Zionist influencer. Someone please just do the deal with him. So for all of the criticisms of Tim, and there are many out there, I've really never viewed Tim as a pro-Israel guy. I don't think there's any legitimate evidence of that at all. And this is where the anti-Israel crowd is so stupid, because they just accuse everyone of being pro-Israel. And this is why I just meme on them. And so it's just a weird dynamic where people Tim's got a ton of things to criticize. That ain't one of them, in my opinion. How about his private meeting with Netanyahu? You mean the private meeting that he admitted to publicly? He fucking admitted that he had the meeting. If it was truly if he was truly paid for and all of that, you would have never heard about it. Jeez, man. He literally told you about it. Good Lord, man. You motherfuckers are completely lost. Ian Carroll. That's who you should be watching, not me. But we got Zwanny for a proper 199. Sorry for the somber chat. I just found out my mom passed away while on vacation. It was not unexpected, but still hard. Thanks for you and all for helping me through this. Chat lives matter. Hail to our sexy as hell Mossad leader. even after last night, never speak of again. It's not the first time a woman said that to me. Hail Unit 199, Mod Lives Matter, Chat Lives Matter. Merry Christmas. Well, first of all, I am so sorry for your loss. Prayers up to everybody in the chat, or prayers up from everybody in the chat. And even though it's expected, it doesn't matter. Nothing can prepare you for that. And so, especially with the holidays and everything. So, massive prayers. Hopefully, we can give you some entertainment and keep your mind off of it. That's my job. My job is simply to make people feel better about their own life. That's pretty much it. Like, people watch me and they're going, I'm not that retarded. I've got a lot going for me. Look at this idiot. So that's hopefully what I can do for you. So seriously, though, thank you for all your support that you've been giving this channel. And we will try to continue to give you as much entertainment as possible. Hail to you. And chat lives matter for sure. Brady for 20 says, whatever you do, don't even think of doing a world newscast. You would laugh all through it and ruin world news. You would suck at that. And God bless 199ers. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Let's see here. But back to the Candace thing right here. So, yeah, so Tim has addressed a lot of this today. And I don't know how convinced I am of his response per se. It just, man, he's got a weird way of approaching some of this stuff. He really, really does. So there's been a lot. So like right here, let me find it. So his title of his video is Candace Owens is Evil. All right. Candace Owens is evil, is what Tim says. Well, I agree with him on that.
There's an article that came out recently talking about how Candace Owens says she left the cult of science, which explains why she doesn't actually vet anything she says, which I believe would show a reckless disregard for the truth, if you know what I'm implying there. Well, she put out a tweet last night, and we're going to break down the claims she's making, as well as Cam Higbee, who actually called the proper sheriff department and confirmed.
So this is in reference to, I guess there was this guy who, there's this guy who called a sheriff's department and tried, this guy right here. Okay. So this guy calls, a creator contacted the sheriff about Tim Pool's shooting allegations on his property, and the sheriff stated there was no record of the alleged shooting at his property on record. Wow, well, that's a big story, right?
Yeah, hi. So my name is Adam. I go by Adam the Angler online. I run like a very small content creator, accounts on like X and YouTube and whatnot. Anyways, Tim Pool had put out a post on X on December 6th around 8 a.m. saying that there was a shooting that took place at his compound, I guess, his residence / business. I have a possible address but I'm not 100%, but I just wanted to call and just verify that he has contacted you guys, like he said, because something about this just doesn't add up to me. So yeah, I just wanted to see if he's being honest or not, basically.
I mean, the only shooting I'm aware of is the murder we had up on the mountain last month. I'm not aware of any other shootings.
Okay. Yeah, no one would have been hurt necessarily, he said.
I'll save you the time of this. He called the wrong sheriff's department. But everyone on Twitter and social media ran with this, that Tim was lying about the shooting. So again, I have tons of criticisms of Tim, but when you literally just make shit up, you lose credibility on that. So he called the wrong sheriff's department.
In his post that it happened around 1 a.m. on the 6th of December, saying that someone approached his property and allegedly fired 3 shots. But then he said that, what's that?
What's his name?
Tim Pool. He's like a fairly large.
And you see how wrapped up into the like online world that this guy is. This guy told first of all, he did self-promotion like they give a fuck. Secondly, he just referred to Tim as like he's Tom fucking Cruise or something. Like the cops are just gonna know who Tim fucking Pool is. Okay? It's just like, dude, nobody knows who the fuck Tim Pool is outside of like this online world. What are you fucking talking about?
Content creator. He covers a lot of like geopolitics and whatnot.
Okay.
And so I believe he lives within your jurisdiction, as far as I can tell. So I just
Yeah,
like
so there are no calls associated with him. A report was taken. So
I'm sorry. What? Say that again. You said a report was taken.
I said I just ran his name in local. So if there had been if he had reported a shooting that we responded to in Jefferson County, it would have shown up in my system. And when I just ran his name, there was no calls associated with the shooting. Yeah, there's nothing for shootings or. And when I run his address, there's nothing coming up for it or his name.
Huh. Well, okay. I appreciate that. We'll see if he produces something more on this alleged shooting. Because he's literally put nothing out other than saying there was a shooting and that he was in contact with police. And
so you have that, okay? Then right here, this guy called the correct sheriff's department.
Sheriff's office. Sorry, I got tongue-tied. Sheriff's office.
No worries. Hi, this is Cameron Higby. I just wanted to call and verify receipt of a report that should.
Notice he didn't say, this is Cam Higby. I have a YouTube channel and here's my Twitter account and I have a Patreon and you can donate to me. I don't know who Cam Higby is, by the way. I mean, I've heard the name, but I don't know who he is.
Should have been filed with you guys or an incident.
Do you have the incident number?
No, I have the name of the person and the incident. So
oh, Cam Higsby literally works for TPUSA and Israel. Oh, he works for Israel? Well, fuck. Maybe I'll see him at the next get together. Damn, I didn't know that. Okay. Well, I didn't know he worked for Israel. We're coworkers then. Fuck, that's awesome. I don't work for TPUSA, but I do work for Israel. So that's awesome. Fuck yeah. Okay. Hell yeah. Sweet.
there was a shooting.
So okay. So then let's restart this one. Okay. So we had that report of this guy calling to verify if Tim Pool had a shooting reported, but it turned out he called the wrong sheriff's department. However, my coworker at Mossad/Israel, who did not pee on the wall, by the way, which is why he makes more money than me, but that's another discussion for another time. But my coworker, Cam Higby, he made a phone call.
Sheriff's office. Sorry, I got tongue-tied. Sheriff's office.
No worries. Hi, this is Cameron Higby. I just wanted to call and verify receipt of a report that should have been filed with you guys or an incident.
Do you have the incident number?
No, I have the name of the person and the incident. So there was a shooting in Tim Pool's compound, and I wanted to make sure that you guys are aware of that. It would have been last night, so it would have been the night of 12/5. It might have been reported the following morning.
Thank you for holding. I'm so sorry.
Yep, no worries. That's totally okay.
Yeah, we just got bombarded with an issue here, so.
I totally get it. No, you guys have more important things to do, I'm sure.
Okay, so it says here it was a third-party caller that called it in.
Okay, and what road did you say that was?
Oh.
They're muting out the locations right there.
Check if that would be the right road. It says third-party caller, and was it that incident I described where somebody drove up and kind of just shot at the place?
Yes.
Amazing. Okay. Well, I'm glad that's on your guys.
Okay, so it was verified. My coworker, Cam Higby, who I hopefully will see at the Mossad Christmas party. Again, it's a lot of people that work for Israel, so you can't expect me to know everyone. But with that said, that was, I guess confirmed. And so it takes us back to this. But before we get to this, I saw that Zwani dropped, my gift to the chat was to give them Sweeney. So LFG, never say I didn't do anything for you. She sent it again. So, okay. So I didn't play Sweeney at that point in time because, you were talking about losing a family member. So I was like, it's probably not the best time to play Sweeney, but you have given the all clear. So boom, we have Sydney Sweeney in the house celebrating the proper 199. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We're all celebrating. We're all happy to see Sydney Sweeney show up. Makes every day just a little bit better, doesn't it? Let's see. Some guy in the chat's really upset. Fuck, come on, man. Hang on. Nah, y'all just weird and obsessed with Israel and weird shit. Okay. I don't see what the problem is. Okay. I don't see what's the problem. I did not know that I was paid by Israel until the chat told me I was paid by Israel. Okay. A bunch of people came into my chat. They said, you're paid by Israel. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then they called me a Mossad agent. I Googled Mossad, didn't know what it was. Found out that apparently I was paid by them. So now, much like when I'm called a racist or a sexist or a misogynist, I just go, yeah. So if you accuse me of working for Israel, I'm just going to say, yeah, in order to piss you off. So the fact that you individually are pissed off about me memeing on Israel means my job is done. Show's over. You guys have a great day. I appreciate all of you hanging out. And I guess I'll see you for Mario Kart tonight. So show's over. Okay, back to this. Here we go.
There was indeed a shooting at our property. Now, these people who follow Candace just want to believe. They don't care what's true. And no amount of evidence will change their mind. Hence, when some random guy calls the wrong police station and they say, I have no idea what you're talking about, he goes, aha! And then all of his followers are like, well, that proves it. When Cam Higbee then gets on the phone and they're like, yeah, this actually happened, we can confirm this, they go, I don't believe it. It's a fake phone call.
So here's the thing. What I do believe is I do believe that Tim had a situation. I also think Tim likes to blow these situations out of proportion to get fake sympathy from people. And he's doing a great job of that. I'm covering it. Websites are covering. Everybody's talking about it. But he's doing it with the intent to get fake sympathy. That is what my problem with it is. That's why I've been covering it the way I have.
You made it up. No, it can't be real. There's no standard with these people because they just want to believe it. Candace Owens, who speaks in the third person and in the plural, tweeted, the shooting Tim Pool survived in December of 2022 was committed by his brother, by the way. His brother was the one who fired the weapon on his property. He cannot deny this fact. Let me just make this very, very clear. I have never claimed to have survived a shooting that took place on my property. Where
it like at this point, if you've had so let's review. Tim Pool did not go to the Turning Point USA event, the Charlie Kirk Memorial, the same event that had Donald Trump, JD Vance, Elon Musk, Pete Hegseth, the entire Trump administration. He didn't go there over security concerns. Tim Pool thought, hey, here's this massive event that I have been invited to. Trump and Elon and JD Vance are going to be there, but I'm not going to go out of security concerns. This same Tim now has had multiple shooting reports at his own property, and yet he's still at the property. I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't know, man. Hang on. Let's see. You did take Israeli money. They pay anyone, and why wouldn't you? For a position you already had to stay out of personally. Of course you would. Don't be ludicrous. It would be free money. What? I can't even get Rumble to give me a fucking contract, and they give everybody a fucking contract, but apparently Israel's paying me. What the fuck are we talking about here? Holy shit, man. I'm telling you, man, the anti-Israel crowd, they are so fucking gone in their rabbit hole that it is just all you can do is laugh at them, dude. That's all you can do. Let me see. Dude, you are half a step from doing what Candace does. You are spending more time blaming Tim rather than Candace, the real evil in this. One step away from Candace? Damn. I didn't know it was that close. Then let's keep going. The fuck is it? Dude, now we have invited the crazies into the chat, okay? We have invited the crazies into the chat.
Where my brother fired, implying he fired upon me. Why is Candace framing it this way? Because she knows the actual story was that I tweeted out in December of 2022, 2 people broke into one of the properties I own, and a staff member opened fire on them because we have armed security and staff. Now, the response to this is people making insane claims that my brother Chris broke onto my property and then fled from security. I assure you, though my brother and I have fought as children and to different degrees in adulthood, I would say the last physical confrontation we ever had was probably when we were like 14 or 15, something like that. You know, because brothers fight sometimes. That's it. But it's like that family thing. It's like we're allowed to fight each other, but no one's allowed to besmirch the good name of my family. Candace Owens put survived in quotes. I never said those words relating to the burglary because I explicitly stated and was reported on our website, I was not at this property. So why did she put the...
Do you know what Candace Owens is doing? And just, I think it's because everything is... Candace Owens is literally doing the Howard Stern shtick of the 90s. That is what she's doing. She is just willing to say the most crazy, insane thing so that she can get everyone talking, and it's working. She's a shock jock. She's a political shock jock.
The word survived in quotes. Well, we can make the argument maybe she's trying to, do air quotes like survived, like, ha. That would imply I'm dead. If it was like, you're doing air quotes, like I didn't survive it. It would also, alternatively, imply I used that word. She's putting it in quotes as if I claimed I survived a shooting. Never happened. Committed by his brother. The implication is pretty dang obvious, isn't it? There was a shooting committed by my brother and I survived it. And what is the response from her followers? That my brother Chris tried to kill me, that he broke onto my property and tried to kill me. I can, with absolute certainty, say this is a lie. And Candace is intentionally misrepresenting a story published on our...
This is what she does. This is what she does. We know this. This is her shtick, and it's funny. The moment that Tim got emotional over what Candace is doing, he lost the battle with her. The moment that Tim went on that rant and started cussing and calling her names, he lost any leverage he had with her because she was going to take full advantage of that. And she's doing that. And now he's kind of like spiraling, trying to get his traction again over this whole thing.
Our website about intruders being shot up by a staff member. Now, why would she do something like this? Why would Candace lie about something like this? Could it be that she's lying about everything? She's claiming Tim's in having some kind of personal issues. Well, I guess that's fair to say getting shot at is a personal issue. I'd call it a professional issue. She's saying that I'm having financial distress. Well, if the argument is we are a profitable company, we are comfortable, and I have a $20,000 Meteorite John sitting next to me. However, due to the shots fired and the death threats and the assassination of Charlie Kirk, we now have to spend substantially more money on security. I'll take it. Yes, financial concerns over the fact that we don't make enough money to hire a round-the-clock security detail.
How do you go from I can retire right now for the rest of my life and go live in a van down the river to I don't make enough money to pay for security? How the fuck does that work? Explain that to me. 2 + 2 does not equal 4 in that equation. Tim says, I can walk away from this right now and live comfortably for the rest of my life. But he also says, I can't afford this. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. So if you can't afford the security, okay, so again, let's backtrack here, okay? You can't afford the security that it takes to do this job. So why did you start a fight with Candace Owens, who's clearly looking for it? If she was friends with Charlie Kirk and she's willing to do this to Charlie Kirk, why would you start a fight with Candace if you can't afford the security? Makes no sense whatsoever.
Like would be required following the shots fired at our property. That is, we already have security. It's already expensive, and it's factored into the cost, and we are profitable. We have always been profitable. We have never been in deficit, and I am doing just fine. Now,
you literally just said you can't afford for fucking security. I don't understand his logic at all. Bottom line, Tim makes a substantial amount of more money than I do. Not even fucking close. Not even remotely close. And now he's like, I'm doing fine, man. I got no problems. We've never lost. We've always operated, but we can't afford security. Okay, Tim, that makes a lot of sense. John freaking Murdoch for 50 says, hey, Jeremy, glad to see you weren't too traumatized by sporting the pigtails last night. Too bad Mossad didn't accept you. You're such an outstanding former retailer. They don't know what they're missing. Hail IDOTs. Hail the 199. I don't want to talk about the pigtail incident anymore. I was very traumatized by that. Listen, I'm all about like memeing and grifting and all of that. I was struggling with that shit. What's up, Willie Will? Hail to you, brother. I was struggling with that one. I was like, how am I gonna get out of this one? And I tried to shift the conversation multiple times, and I failed to do that. I got some traction a couple of times, but yeah, it continued in that way. Nandy for 50 says, Mr. Griggs, $7,000 payments have been frozen due to the recent discovery that he is straight. Tune in tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern time for more. Hail to you, Nandy. Thank you so much. Thank you, brother. Mark of Reality for 50 says, you evil Zionist master, or your evil Zionist master is not pleased with the people who are trying to expose your position with Zionism. Things will be taken care of, or so I've heard. Dun, dun, dun. sure Ian Carroll will have a really good breakdown of all of the Zionist stuff, and everybody will just, oh man, Ian Carroll's being silenced, even though he's got millions of fucking subscribers and followers and gets all these views, but he's being silenced. You can't talk about Israel, guys. You can't criticize Israel. Yet everybody that criticizes Israel gets hundreds of thousands of fucking views. But you can't talk about it, guys. It's like you can't talk about Disney Star Wars. They'll silence you, even though everybody talked about it back in the day. Let's see here. Where are we at? Marmelin says, Jeremy Stein, Cobra. We got him, ladies and gentlemen. It's over. It's over. NC Pork BBQ. If I remember correctly, Tim didn't go to the TPUSA because he wasn't invited this year, but that was his fault for speaking on things. He was told not to speak about to others on Charlie Security. That's the Turning Point event, the AmFest, but I'm talking about the Charlie Kirk Memorial that he declined to go to over security concerns, which again, I'm not saying that he's wrong. I've said many times, like, I probably spend more money than I should on security, which is why I have to grift so fucking hard, whether it's at our meetups or my personal life or whatever, but it's literally worth it for peace of mind. You know what I mean? But I don't sit here and make a big deal of it. I don't talk about it. Like, it is what it is, man. It's the price of business. It's the price of being on the internet. It sucks. I hate it, but I think I said that one year I spent, what did I spend? That meetup. Again, meetup that we don't charge people for, by the way. I think I spent $25,000 on that meetup. And no charge, no door charge or anything. I don't know how many people we had there. 500 people probably. Didn't charge people. Paid for private security, public security, undercover security, all that shit. So, but that's the price of business. That's just how it is. You have to do that shit, man. It doesn't make it fun. And luckily, like, you know, again, the only reason, and look, I don't get credit for doing this. The only way I'm able to do what I do is because look at the support we get. I wish that I was just using all this money to go drive fancy cars and all that shit, but I typically am just eating Cheetos and playing video games afterwards. So Cheetos are good. So, you know, continue, Tim.
She's saying, what did she say? Someone told me that she said that I lost $100,000 poker game and came home and beat my wife or something like that. I have never played a 100.
Oh, hold on, Tim. Tim, hang on.
Now she's saying, what did she say? Someone told me that she said that I lost $100,000 poker game and came home and beat my wife or something like that.
I didn't know Tim was from Alabama. Damn, you sound like my family member, Tim. Maybe we have more in common than I thought. You sound like you're from Alabama.
I have never played a 100,000 poker game. And the most I ever lost in a poker game was at the Lodge in Austin, which was a $5,000 poker game. To be fair, I did buy back in and I ended up losing $7,000, $7,100 to be exact, to which I am not particularly sweating. Now I understand some people are like, Tim, you're out of touch. You're like, well, you know, it was a promotional event and it was valuable to go out into other spaces. And quite honestly, I literally don't care. You know, it's not $100,000 and I can afford it. I would never play a $100,000 game.
I can afford it. By the way, I can't afford security. I can afford it. I can afford to. Oh my God. All right. We're done with Tim. We're done with Tim. So I just wanted to show him addressing this, all of that. But what's really interesting is that we finally have Erica Kirk addressing all of this from Candace Owens. And this is something that we've been waiting for a long time. And we finally have it right here. Erica Kirk goes scorched earth against evil people monetizing Charlie Kirk's death and attacking her family and the families of those close to Charlie and TPUSA. The Fox News anchor audibly gasped live. Okay, so I have not heard this. I'm listening to this for the first time. I'm going full Trump. I'm hearing this for the first time, but I am. So here we go right here. Finally, is she going to call Candace out by name? Because that's the key right now.
About this part of the conspiracies that are out there, this disturbing part that people are trying to guess where Charlie is.
Can I have one thing? Can I have one thing? Can my children have one thing? Everything was public. We will be building the most beautiful memorial for my husband at Turning Point USA, and it will be for the world to see, and it will be spectacular, and it will have basically museum style for our Charlie, for my Charlie. But can I have one thing? Can my babies have one thing where we hold it sacred, where my husband is laid to rest, where I don't have to be worried about some secular revolutionary coming and destroying my husband's grave while my daughter is sitting there praying? One thing. This is my husband. Yes, he was Charlie Kirk to the world, and I know so many people love my husband, and I am grateful for that. But this is my husband, and I want to be able to have one thing left that is sacred to our family, to my in-laws, to my babies, and to my parents. One thing.
What are they taking from you right now?
Nothing. But I will tell you what they are doing. It reminds me so much of chapter 6 in the book of Nehemiah. He is building a wall, and the townspeople are at the base of that hill saying, Nehemiah, calling him all these names, saying all these things, come on down. Every single time he had the same message 4 times in a row. I cannot come down. I am busy building. That is how I feel. I do not have time to address the noise. My silence does not mean that I am complacent. My silence does not mean that somehow Turning Point USA and all of the handpicked staff that loved my husband and my husband loved them is somehow in on it. We are busy building. And you know what I thought? I thought these people are human. We are all grieving in our own way. And they are trying to find the answer to something that happened that was so evil. They are trying so hard. And I get that. We're doing the same. Anytime we hear a lead or anytime we hear anything, we send it to the authorities. Please dig into this. No rock will be unturned. I want justice for my husband, for myself, for my family, more than anyone else out there. So for me, you want to keep telling me to come down while we're building? I don't have time for that. But here's my breaking point on that. Come after me, call me names, I don't care. Call me what you want, go down that rabbit hole, whatever. But when you go after my family, my Turning Point USA family, my Charlie Kirk Show family, when you go after the people that I love, and you're making hundreds and thousands of dollars every single episode going after the people that I love.
So this is directly about Candace. And I don't want to be overly critical of her in this moment because I think she's doing a very good job and she sounds extremely passionate and authentic. But if you're to back up the tone, you're gonna have to call Candace out by name.
Because somehow they're in on this. No.
You know, I have to say it. I've never seen you like this.
No, this is righteous anger because this is not okay. It's not healthy. This is a mind virus. Yes, I believe in our judicial system. I do. We have a hell of a team working on this. Excuse my French. But this is not okay.
So you want to put these people back in the box where they've been creeping from?
I don't care what box you're in. But just know that your words are very powerful and we are human. My team are not machines and they're not robots. They are human. We have more death threats on our team and our side than I have ever seen. I have kidnapping threats. I have, you name it, we have it. And my poor team is exhausted. And every time they bring this back up, what are we supposed to do? Relive that trauma all over again? They watched my husband get murdered. I have no idea how I would have reacted if I was there that day. And thank the good Lord that I did not have to see that happen. But my team, they are rocked to the core. So why every single day do they have to be dragged through the mud, analyzed, hyper-analyzed?
You know, the conspiracies that are out there, all of the like, do you think that there is more of it now because you do shine your light? I mean, did people just expect you would just go away?
I don't know what they expected. I don't know what they expected.
They pick on you because of your accessories. I mean, I've seen some of it.
Oh, yeah. No, at this point, it's what the conspiracy collection. Get it before Christmas. Like, seriously, you will, if you want to find and pick me apart, go right ahead. I do not care. I don't. This was happening before Charlie was murdered. Both of us have been through the ringer of people will call you whatever they want to call you. They will. But I have seen it firsthand impact the people.
So it was good. It was a good message, but if you truly want to address the issue, it's got to be like, you've got to say Candace Owens is a liar. She is lying point blank. Like, in order for that message to hit, it's got to be Candace Owens is lying. She's the central focus of all of this. She's the reason all of this is happening. I agree, Cass, what Candace wants. I absolutely do agree with that. Trust me, I deal with it all the time. People, are always going after me, saying shit on a much smaller scale. I'm nobody in terms of like what they're dealing with, but everything is relative. So everything is relative to what you're dealing with. So, TPUSA, Erica Kirk are operating on a different stratosphere than I ever will be on, but it still doesn't change the fact that it's relative. So people that are going after me, like you see that. I used to respond all the fucking time. Now, like there's nobody that's going after me that's like relevant enough for me to have to worry about it, but there may be at some point in time where that happens. So, I mean, but you have to pick and choose, but Candace has become so detrimental to TPUSA at this point in time that indirectly dancing around it is not going to help, in my humble opinion. Let me see here. Awful person, meaning Candace, as if that's what you're referring to. I agree completely. Let's see here. Alan Tanassi says, I'm friends with someone who worked for Tim Pool and her boyfriend recently worked for Benny Johnson. Tim's brother shot at an intruder and they believe that Benny is gay. Thought that was interesting. Yeah, well, that's, what was that? Fucking Milo, right? Is the one that put that out there. So, dude, all I'm saying is I may have a new grift. Okay. We'll find out. Benny's talking about lawsuits for being called gay. Dude, if you can sue people for falsely calling you gay, boys, I am going to be rolling in the dough. I just called me Scrooge McDuck. Holy shit. Let's fucking go. See, I've been plotting this whole time. I'm like, let's just let them call me gay. Let them call me gay and then hit you with the fucking lawsuit, baby. Captain JP says, Jeremy, this is the most important question in your life. And if you get this wrong, you're gay. Army versus Navy, who you got? I'm going specifically against Ryan Kennel. Specifically. Okay. So I'm going Army. There you have it. The Lego Batman Goon says, I like that this is directed at Candace, but I wish she would drop her name and take her on directly. This feels a bit scripted for me as someone who defends Erica. Probably so. I believe that Harris Faulkner knew that she was going to talk to that. Erica probably had a teleprompter. I don't know that for sure, but yeah, I tend to agree with that. John freaking Murdoch says Candace Owens is playing from the Adam Schiff playbook. She I mean, it is a Democratic tactic what she's doing. So absolutely 100%. Trump is live. Let's see. Is Trump live? Trump is live.
Probably changing.
Here we go.
Americans are great builders, and in the Trump administration, America is once again a country where innovators get a green light. You have the greatest innovators in the world at this table, and representing a lot of their friends who are competitors and friends. But we're really on a big move to get rid of red tape so they can run their businesses and not have to wait 10 years for an approval. In the old days, getting some of these approvals for plants that are already being built would have taken 10, 15, even 20 years prior to rejection. You'd get rejected. You'd work 20 years and then you'd lose 5-4. And we're getting plants approved in a matter of weeks. The biggest plants ever built in a matter of weeks. For every new regulation, we're slashing more than 10 old regulations. So we're not allowing regulations unless they slash 10 old regulations. We did that in the first term, and we cut more regulation than any administration ever. In our first term, we have the all-time record. I think we're exceeding it here. In fact, now it's 1 in 24 is the number we're at. It's 1 in 10 you have to do, otherwise we're not letting you do it. But we're actually up to 1 in 24, so we get rid of 24 regulations for everyone. That's not-
I have to show this really quick because I just want to say this is what I voted for. Donald Trump targets immigrants from shithole countries in rally speech. This is what I voted for right here, ladies and gentlemen. Okay.
And equipment and structure. So including even structure. So that if Michael goes out and builds a factory, you can take it against tax immediately. The whole thing, you don't have to wait 38 years or do it over a 38-year period. And I think that's what made the first tax cut, which we, by the way, got extended in this tax cut. So, and you add it up, it's the biggest tax cut in the history of our country. But I think that the expensing factor, and it's good for 10 years too, I think that's the, maybe was the reason that so much growth was, there were other reasons, but so much growth was gotten in the first term. So earlier this year, I said that the challenges of our time demand a new spirit of patriotism and national loyalty in Silicon Valley, smart people, and from the whole technology sector. And that patriotism is on huge display here in this room with some of the most brilliant people. And I'd now like to ask Secretary Howard Lutnick to say a few words, and OSTP Director Michael Kretz.
All right, I don't want to listen to those guys, so we'll go back to that. We'll keep an eye on all of that. But yeah, Trump's like at this point, Trump is always live. He did almost like a rally last night that I had Tuesday night's main event, so I couldn't cover that. But yeah, it looked pretty awesome from what I was seeing. So. Okay. As a matter of fact, I think I got a couple of moments from that rally as well. Let's see here. Gotta find it. There was one funny moment. Also, Elon Musk did an interview, and he was asked who the funniest person he knows in real life is. And of course, here it is right here. Katie Miller's podcast. Elon was asked, who's the funniest person he knows in real life? Here we go.
Who's the funniest person you know in real life?
You know, President Trump is very funny. He's got a great sense of humor.
President Trump is very funny.
He's very funny. He's like naturally funny, but it's somewhat effortless. I mean, you know, when he was had Ed Mamdani in the office, and they asked him if he still thought the president was fascist. And the president said, just say yes, it's easier that way.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Just say yes. That was awesome. He's like, yeah.
Elon is so fucking weird. And I think that's Stephen Miller's wife, if I'm not mistaken. So, but yeah, so that was just Listening to Elon giggle when he's thinking about Trump roasting Mamdani is the best thing ever. We did. All right. So Trump popped off about Ilhan Omar last night. Here we go.
Do we have any individuals?
That's so
from
low.
Somalia in the group? Please raise your hand.
And you guys hear that?
That's for Minnesota. Do we have any individuals from Somalia in the group? Please raise your hand. That's for Minnesota. You know, that's called the Great Big Minnesota Scam with one of the dumbest governors ever in history.
It's as loud as I can make it. I'm trying not to talk.
I love this Ilhan Omar, whatever the hell her name is, with the little turban. I love her. She comes in, does nothing but bitch. She's always complaining. She comes from a country where, I mean, it's considered about the worst country in the world, right? They have no military. They have no nothing. They have no parliament. They don't know what the hell the word parliament means. They have nothing. They have no police. They police themselves. They kill each other all the time. I love it. She comes to our country, and she's always complaining about the Constitution allows me to do this. We ought to get her the hell out. She married her brother in order to get in, right? She married her brother. Can you imagine if Donald Trump married his sister? Beautiful. She's a beautiful person. If I married my sister to get my citizenship, do you think I'd last for about 2 hours, or would it be something less than that? She married her brother to get in. Therefore, she's here illegally. She should get the hell out. Throw her the hell out. She does nothing but complain. So now, and we have our savior.
Lower your volume. Lower your volume. I know you had to bump it up there. Okay, now. All right, now. 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're back. Holy crap, Trump. Yeah, so that is fantastic right there. Hearing him go off about her marrying her brother. Are you kidding me, dude? Oh my goodness. What a freaking legend. Now, I showed this last night on Main Event, but right here, Trump is talking to the press on Air Force One. You can't make this stuff up. Someone leaves the bathroom and hits Trump with the door. They then freak out and realize what they've done. Then Trump knocks on the door and tells them, "You can leave. It's fine. Get out here."
You're gonna have to take it easy with that thing. You know, it's a government plane, but I like to take care of it. Hello. Somebody's in there. Come on out. You're gonna have to take it easy.
As I said, man, like, how would that person feel knowing, like, the most famous human being on the planet, and you bump him with the door, and he knocks, he's like, "You can come out, it's okay."
That thing, you know, it's a government plane, but I like to take care of it.
I love his reaction when the door hits him.
Hello. Somebody's in there. Come on out.
Oh, man. One of one, man. There'll never be anybody like this dude. Oh, so funny. Hilarious. Elon Musk has been... Elon... Listen, when you have a genius like Elon, okay, you just have to take, and I've mentioned this before, you have to take the good with the bad, okay? That's just how it is. And we know that Elon went off on Trump and said all this stuff, and him and Trump were fighting, but like now Elon is back to being Elon, and he's calling shit out. Elon Musk says no more white guilt. No more. He's been on it lately. And that's the Elon that, we remember from the 2024 campaign. So fantastic to see Elon calling it out. That's what it's all about. So now a lot of the memes after he called out Ilhan Omar, right here we go.
Omar phone. I don't know what's happening.
Oh man, we gotta watch this one more time. That's just too damn good, dude. Ah.
Omar phone. I don't know what's happening.
Woo! Oh my goodness, man. Nothing like MAGA memers. Nothing at all. It's absolutely fantastic to watch. That dumb fuck finder is a pretty great account. I gotta follow them. They're really good because they made this one. Everybody was tagging me in this, and they said this should be a new CobraCast intro. So I have not heard this one. I don't know if it has copyrighted music. I hope it doesn't, but here we go.
We just pulled up to Timmy's house. Just need to plug in the speakers and we're good to go. Unloading the instruments, setting up, getting ready to go, wake the whole neighborhood.
Retarded fat idiot, pathetic retarded loser, pathetic retarded poser, retarded screaming louder, retard thunder. You are retarded. Break you down. Half-time retard stutters every word. Loser, dead voice retarded loser.
I agree, dude. It looks like the AI is insanely good on this. And this is what I'm talking about with AI, man. Like, just imagine in another year or two, like this looks legit.
Fake fraud, pretend exposer. Loser, screaming louder. Hit the ground. I'm retarded.
Hey, we got Lance Finn says, it's real. I was the light guy. See there? So this actually happened. Lance Finn confirmed it, guys. Let's freaking go.
You are retarded.
Trump is shredding.
You are retarded.
Oh, goodness, man. Yeah, we're done. Like, we're in trouble. AI will destroy us all. Might as well just laugh about it because there's nothing we can do. You can't stop it. You can't stop it. So get ready because we are in trouble, ladies and gentlemen, big time. Let's see here. All right, is Trump still live? Here, let's see what's going on here.
And it is the software applications on top. The ability to take those to all our friends in countries, so all the friendly countries, is going to be very, very important. And we wish to work with your government to make sure that we can do that, because otherwise we're afraid that competing countries are going to be able to get that stack. So we would say that.
Anything that you're looking at that we can help you with so that you create a bigger and better IBM and hire a lot more people? Anything you need?
A few countries, we'll speak to members of your administration to make sure that those can go and that barriers get lowered for being able to do it quickly. We agree guardrails are necessary, but lower barriers would be very, very helpful.
You mean tariffs?
No.
Because are these countries tariffing you, making your life difficult? Are they doing anything else to make your life difficult?
It's the ability to take certain systems which have semiconductors inside them into these countries. So right now, because we have controls on where all the semiconductors can go, then the entire system is restricted. That's what we want to do. The same as
how many countries do that?
Probably a half dozen. So
I can tell you the countries already. I know.
Yes.
I know every country very well. And we have ways of combating that quickly. So you let me know.
And the last part I'd like to say is I'd also like to thank you for all that you're doing to help modernize government itself, because we think that that's incredibly important. You know, you made a number of announcements, but a couple that I'd just like to point out, we worked with Commissioner Frank Bisignano to help make Social Security better. So I would like to thank you for your help on that. And we'll work with him on making IRS.
He's done a fantastic job.
Yes, Frank's great.
He's done a great job, Frank. He's had a great career, actually left a tremendous career where his salary, I think, was 100 times greater than it is now. And he was at JP Morgan Chase, and he did a great job at Social Security, quickly.
And we hope to help him replicate that now at the IRS also.
Very good. Thank you very much. Good job. Cristiano, please.
Yes, just a few points. I think, first of all, Mr. President, thank you for your vision. I think, thank you for understanding the importance of the American private sector in industry, I think, and the growth of the economy. I want to just build on some of the things that were said by my colleagues. I think we have built probably one of the most advanced technologies in the world. And part of it is because I think the commitment to innovation that we have in the country, but also the fact that it has been American technology for the world. So I think we have an incredible opportunity. When I think about what Michael said about exporting AI, I had a with Secretary Howard. Now that the trade deal's been made, is an opportunity to really build on those trade deals and export, I think, American technology. And also, as we think about the technology, it's an important vector to drive the reindustrialization, I think, of the country with technology. So we're incredibly excited about that. I think it's a big opportunity. I think it's the next wave of growth that we can build on those trade agreements. And I think it resonates what also Arvin said about the importance of the American technology stack. And then I'm just going to finish with 2 points. There are two exciting things happening in the world of technology coming right now. One is as AI becomes the new form of computing, AI is going not only to the data center, but to everything, to cars, to PCs. And we see now the ability to run models that you can only run AI in the data center. You can run that on a microcomputer, on a computer for Enrique, on a server, with small server on premise. So I think we're going to see the proliferation of AI. The other one is 6G. We have made commitment working with your administration, working with FCC. We're going to accelerate 6G. We're working to launch first in the world in that LA Olympics. And I think that's another opportunity for America to lead in the next wireless evolution. So thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for the partnership. And we're going to be hard at work, I think, driving that agenda.
So we're into 6G now. I just finished 5G. I was a leader on 5G, getting that done. and now they're up to 6.
Let's do it again.
What does that do? Give you a little bit deeper view into somebody's skin? See how perfect it is? I like the cameras the old days. So they just had a mesh feature. Now they cover every little. Let's see, Michael, you're in good shape. You're not gonna, but I tell you, it's the 6 is coming, huh?
It's coming.
Does it ever end? And what happens? You'll be into 7, right? Before 6 gets old, you'll be into 7. Anybody have anything else to say? Anybody?
I think that the other thing is, we want to thank you as well for the openness of your organization and your team. We always find people that wants to hear what we need and is willing to design programs that will support us. So thank you.
Well, we're here to serve you. We want you to just dominate the whole world in terms of what you do. It's a very important world. And you're doing that. And we're making it easy for you. And that means you're going to do it faster. It's more jobs. A lot of good things happen. Right? Go ahead,
Thank you,
please.
Mr. President. You may not recall, but in your first term, you actually sponsored the Department of Energy to build the largest systems ever built. And thanks to your sponsorship, the Department of Energy owns the 3 top supercomputers in the world.
Yeah.
And we build it with them. And these are systems that can do quintillion operations per second. And that means we can solve
I know.
a lot of.
We made that possible. It's worked out very well. Good.
Solve problems. So now we're going to build the next generation again.
Good. Sounds good to me. Any questions, please?
Mr. President. Thank you. Can you explain a little more about this Venezuelan oil tanker and share a little more information?
Well, I'll let the people do it, but you see the result, and I guess they probably have released the pictures by now or pretty soon. You'll discuss that with the appropriate people later on, but no, it was seized for a very good reason.
Sir, there's a new proposal from DHS that would see tourists from a lot of countries have to hand over 5 years of social media history to get a tourist visa. Are you concerned at all that if that's implemented, there would be a decline in tourism next year? And what sort of
No,
do you think is?
we're doing so well. We just want people to come over here and safe. We want safety. We want security. We want to make sure we're not letting the wrong people come into our country. We're getting rid of a lot of bad ones from jails, from mental institutions, drug dealers, and we're getting a lot of bad people, murderers. 11,888 murderers, half of them.
He's in our
almost
chat.
Exactly half of them.
Samsung is in our chat.
Committed more than one murder. We're getting rid of them. In some cases, we don't even want to get them out. We put them in jail because we're afraid they're going to come back into our country. We're not going to let them back in. So we've taken a very tough stand. And you see where we've been, like Washington, D.C. now, people walk down the streets. They go into restaurants at night. It's beautiful. It's like this beautiful thing to see because until I got here, this was a very, very bad place. We had a terrible thing happen 2 weeks ago with terrorism with regard to 2 National Guards people that are so phenomenal. One is no longer with us, and one, amazingly, we weren't looking with great hope on that, that Andrew. And today he got out of bed, actually, got stood up, didn't say anything. It's a little early, but the chances of Andrew, other than his mother, who said, nope, he's going to be okay. His mother was the most positive person. And could be that she'll be right. It's pretty amazing. Made progress. It was, both of them were so badly hurt, we never thought that one could survive. So it looks like Andrew's doing pretty well.
The winner of the Nobel Prize dedicated the prize to you, the Nobel Peace Prize, and she left Venezuela at a very risk to make it to the ceremony. There is a risk she could be arrested, actually. What would happen if she's arrested? What message do you send, or would you send to Nicolas Maduro?
Well, arrested by who? The Nobel Prize Committee? It sounds like that's probably the ones that would arrest. I don't know anything about it. She was very gracious. She said I should have gotten the Nobel Prize. And I don't, I'm doing this to save lives. I'm not doing it for any other reason. But no, I don't like if she would be arrested. I wouldn't be happy with that.
Mr. President, Senate Republicans currently have a healthcare proposal that would take away, let those ACA subsidies expire and then put about $1,000 in people's HSAs. Do you think that is enough money? And how do you ensure that people who will see those tax subsidies expire won't see their healthcare costs skyrocket?
Well, the Unaffordable Care Act, which is Obamacare, they call it now the unaffordable because it's unaffordable. It used to be called the affordable, but it was never affordable. It was always bad. It was basically designed for the benefit of insurance companies. And what we're doing is we want all of the billions and billions of dollars that went to insurance companies to go directly to the people, and they can buy their own health care. And people love it. I don't know if the Democrats are going to approve it because they want the insurance companies to make money. It was a scam. Obamacare was a scam. But we're going to see. I mean, the Republicans, I can tell you, want the money to go to the people. And we're winning that battle. The Democrats are having a hard time with it because they're in the pocket of the insurance companies. Yes, please.
Yes, you spoke to some European leaders there, I think, sir.
I did.
Could you tell us about that? And is there a revised peace plan that Ukraine has presented?
Yeah. The leaders of France we spoke to, and Germany, and UK, all very good leaders, very good friends of mine. And we discussed Ukraine in pretty strong words. And we'll see what happens. I mean, we're waiting to hear answers before we progress. You know, we're not spending any money in Ukraine. We're selling basically missiles and everything else to NATO, and NATO is paying us, and then they distribute it to who they want. I guess they're mostly distributing to Ukraine, but we're not spending money. But you know, we're spending a lot of time and a lot of effort. Because last month, 27,000 soldiers were killed. Both, think of it, 27,000. That's if you take a football game and take half the stadium, that's 27,000. So 27,000 soldiers were killed. Russian and Ukrainian soldiers were killed. And I want to see that stop. We'll find out. Look, there are a lot of things happening right now. A lot of people say it's closer than it's ever been. It's a war that would have never started. If I were president, would have never started. It's a war that should never have started. But we'll have it figured out, I think, within a pretty short time.
You say very strong terms, sir. Could you explain that?
Well, I think we had some.
I did a little bit earlier. I still have a lot to get to, but I did read yours.
And we're going to see how it turns out. And we said before we go to a meeting, we want to know some things, you know, they would like us to go to a meeting over the weekend in Europe, and we'll make a determination depending on what they come back with. We don't want to be wasting time. Sometimes you have to let people fight it out, and sometimes you don't. But the problem with letting people fight it out is you're losing thousands of people a week. It's ridiculous. The whole thing is ridiculous.
Mr. President, two questions. One, the oil tanker. Who owns that oil tanker?
You'll get that information later.
Okay. And have you spoken to Maduro since your last conversation?
No, I haven't.
You only did one conversation.
No.
And when you say that the European leaders want to have a meeting over the weekend, are you talking about with Zelensky or with them?
With Zelensky and us.
And you said in an interview yesterday that you think it's time for Zelensky to start accepting things. What things are you talking about?
I think he has to be realistic, and I do wonder about, you know, how long is it going to be till they have an election? You know, it's democracy. It's a long time. They haven't had an election in a long time. It's losing a lot of people, and it's possible that the people, you know, if you look at the polls, I will say 82%. There was a poll that came out. 82% of the people are demanding a settlement be made. Ukrainian people. They want to see a settlement be made. I understand that. They're losing thousands and thousands of people a week. They want to see it ended. And I do say, you know, at what point, when do they have an election in Ukraine? That's not casting dispersions on anybody, but they do have a massive corruption situation going on there. And they do say, you know, when are they, people are asking this question, when do they have an election? Are they going to have an election? Or are they going to just keep it going like this? So I think it's time to get that war settled. And I think it's a war that can be settled. But it takes two to tango.
Mr. President, I wonder about the new owners of Warner Brothers Discovery today, changes at CNN, big changes, and he's spoken to Jared about it. What are you doing with him, or get you sort of follow him off a little bit?
So what do you want to know?
What changes do you want to see at CNN under new owners?
Well, I'm not involved in that. I will be probably involved, maybe involved in the decision. It depends. You have some good companies bidding on it. I think the people that have run CNN for the last long period of time are a disgrace. I think it's imperative that CNN be sold, because you certainly wouldn't want to put people, just leave those people with some money, good money, and CNN, so that, you know, they can spend even more money spreading poison, because it's lies. It's a disgrace. So I wouldn't want to see the same company end up with CNN, the same company with money, because right now they don't have too much money, but they have value, I guess, based on the bids. So you've got value. But I think CNN should be sold, because I think the people that are running CNN right now are either corrupt or incompetent.
And that'll be a factor in decision making, because, you know, we've got some.
Well, in my mind, but you know, I can be talked out of that by some very talented people that we have, antitrust people. But I just think that the people that have run CNN into the ground, by the way, nobody watches, very few people watch. I don't think they should be entrusted with running CNN any longer. So I think any deal should be guaranteed and certain that CNN is part of it, or sold separately. But I don't think the people that are running that company right now and running CNN, which is a very dishonest group of people, I don't think that should be allowed to continue. I think CNN should be sold along with everything else.
Sir, you spoke about affordability earlier in your remarks and yesterday in Pennsylvania. How much more can we expect to see you on the road kind of delivering that message? And are you worried at all about the Democrats winning a couple more things in Miami and Georgia?
I don't worry, but, you know, it's like statistically, it's amazing. When you win the presidency, even if you win by a landslide like we did, and even if you do a good job, and some people say we've done the best opening 10 months in history, you know, in the history of the presidency. I think we have. Who's done better? We ended 8 wars. We have the strongest economy. We have $18 trillion coming in, which is more than any country had, times I think 5 or 6. 18 trillion is a lot even in your standard, right?
Yes, sir.
Even for that guy, 18 trillion is big numbers. But we have $18 trillion coming in. Pretty amazing, right? I think Qualcomm would be very impressed if they had even a little piece of that. So we've done a great job. But for whatever reason, and nobody's been able to give me an answer, when you win the presidency, you seem to lose the midterms. Even if you win the presidency by a lot and you do a great job as president. You know, some presidents have done good and they've lost. I think it's like 2 times in the last many, many years it's been won. I don't know why. It doesn't make sense. Usually I can figure things out, but I don't know why, but that seems to be. But other than that, we should win because we're doing great. The economy is roaring. I think the economy is only going to go, you know, better with all this money pouring in. We have factories being built. And forget about AI. We have AI more than anybody. We're leading AI by a lot. But we have many car companies coming in from Canada, from Mexico. They're coming in from Mexico. They're coming in from Canada, from Japan, from Europe, all over Europe, Germany, all over Europe. I mean, we're doing great. But for whatever reason, it doesn't matter how well they're doing, you know, good and bad. The bad you understand, but even when a president's doing well, they seem to not do well in the midterms. So we're going to try and change it. There should be no reason for it. If anybody at the table can figure out, Bruce, a nice psychological reason, but so I want to win, and winning the midterms is important. People want us to win the midterms, and I think we have great spirit. We should win the midterms, yeah.
I'm glad he's making a point to, it's almost like a challenge at this point. So I'm glad that he's acknowledging it from that perspective because, you know, people like Trump, you know, grown ass men like a challenge. And so that's a good thing. He's going to have to get it in gear, and he will. So I'm glad he said that.
The Biden's administration, during COVID specifically, Biden removed the safety standards on abortion drugs. Now I'm hearing from a lot of pro-lifers that they're very anxious because yesterday Bloomberg reported that your FDA is slow-walking a review of the abortion drugs that Secretary Kennedy promised.
Yeah,
How soon do you want to see that?
I'll find out. I'll ask them.
Do you want to see it?
I don't think they're slow walking anything, but I'll find out. Yeah.
Metal Gear says, stop pausing the live. I just wanted to pause it to let you know that I did see your comment telling me not to pause it, but I felt like I should at least pause it so that you can hear me let you know that I did see your comment telling me not to pause the live. And I just wanted to make sure, because I don't want to talk over Trump. So, so I hope I'll start it when you clarify that you heard my responses. I just want to make sure we have good communication. So just as long as we're good on that front. So,
Say on the clashes between Thailand and Cambodia. So
Yeah, I think I'll have to make a phone call. I was going to say that the Thailand and Cambodia, one of the 8 that I settled, they've been fighting for a long time. They've been fighting for a very long time, many, many, many decades. But I got along great with both. I found they were 2 great leaders, 2 great people, and I settled it once. I think I can do it pretty quickly. I think we're scheduling a phone call tomorrow.
Mr. President.
With Thailand.
On the Fed chair.
With Thailand, if just to answer Steve, with Thailand and Cambodia, I think I can get them to stop fighting. Who else can do that? Think of it. Settle 8 wars. Every once in a while, one will flame up again, and I have to put out that little flame. I have to put it out, but we're going to put it out again. So I think I'm scheduled to speak to them tomorrow and see if I can. It was unfortunate what happened. I mean, I know exactly what happened. It kind of started a little bit, but we'll see if we can put it out.
we're interested in the siege of this tanker. What happens to the oil on that ship?
Well, we keep it, I guess.
Where does it go? What port does it go to?
Well, you have to follow the tanker. You're a good newsman. Just follow the tanker.
Do you know where it's going?
Follow it. Get a helicopter. Follow the tanker. But I assume we're going to keep the oil.
Mr. President, on Fed chair, Kevin Hassett said you were going to announce your decision within the next 2 weeks. Is that correct?
Maybe.
Are you doing your interviews with finalists today?
Well, I'm meeting with Kevin Warsh today, so I'm meeting with him. I sort of have a very good idea what I'm looking for. Again, I'm looking for somebody that will be honest with interest rates. That's all. I just want honesty. Our rate should be much lower. Our rate should be the lowest rates in the world. Because all these countries that you see, with low rates, many of them are low because of us, because they suck so much money out of us. But that's not happening anymore. We should have the lowest rates in the world. And without us, none of them really exist as an economy. I mean, I can show you these really prime, really wonderful countries. They've had nothing but success. It's because they took so much out of the United States. I mean, it's one of those little problems. I want to see
100%.
that when we do well, we're rewarded for doing well, not the way it's been for the last pretty long period of time.
Are you asking the finalists to pledge to lower rates? Are you asking these finalists to pledge to lower rates if you become the chair?
I'll be asking questions and I'll be able to figure it out.
Mr. President, we have 3 countries sending drugs to the U.S., Mexico, Venezuela, and Colombia. And you talked to the president of Mexico, you already talked to Nicolas Maduro. Have you considered talking to the president of Colombia, who you call a drug leader?
No, I haven't really thought too much about him. He's been fairly hostile to the United States, and I haven't given him a lot of thought. He's going to have himself some big problems if he doesn't wise up. Colombia is producing a lot of drugs. They have cocaine factories that they make cocaine, as you know, and they sell it right into the United States. So he better wise up, or he'll be next. He'll be next too. And I hope he's listening. He's going to be next. Yes,
Mr. President.
Because we don't like people when they kill people. And they sell drugs, they kill them in the United States. And Colombia is a major manufacturer of drugs, meaning cocaine in particular, as you know.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Multiple House Republicans in recent weeks, days, have been critical of Speaker Mike Johnson. I wanted to ask you if you're still confident in the Speaker to keep his conference together ahead of the midterms, and how often are you speaking about him?
I think Mike Johnson is great. He's had a majority of 2, 3, 4, and back to 2. We actually had 1. So we were 1 heart attack away from disaster. So everybody prayed for everybody's health. I think Mike Johnson's been a fantastic speaker. I mean, a very hard job because, when you have a small majority, and we got the biggest bill in the history of our country approved, the Great Big Beautiful Bill. I call it the Great Big Beautiful Bill. There are different names for it, but to me, it's a Great Big Beautiful Bill because it gives the biggest tax cuts in history, the biggest regulation cuts in history. No tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime. I think Mike Johnson's been a great speaker. I think few people could have done that job.
Do you want to see another big package move through Capitol Hill in the next year, or?
Well, we don't need it because we got everything. You know, this was supposed to be 17 bills. And I think it was my idea, but, you know, with the concurrence of people that have done this a long time. And I said, why don't we make it one bill? Because it's very hard to get things approved by the Democrats. And it worked out because there was something good for everybody. If we would have done 17 bills, we wouldn't have gotten a third of them approved. It was something great for everybody. And
I don't trust her. I don't know much about her, but I don't trust her.
It's good to see you, Mr. President. I follow up on the event last night in Pennsylvania. Huge crowd turned out there.
Big crowd.
It seemed like Rally Trump was in prime condition last night. You enjoyed it. Just give me your thoughts on that. Then I do have a question on the gold card.
Last night was amazing in Pennsylvania. We had a tremendous crowd. It was like freezing. And the people, the thousands of people on the sidewalk trying to get in on the streets. It was an amazing evening, actually, and I think people really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. You could tell that.
I can tell that you enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it. I really did. Well, you know, it's easy to enjoy when you do a good job, and you know, when you can talk about things in a very positive way. It's hard not to say it. We have potentially the greatest economic boom in the history of the world. It's being built right now, and when it opens, there will be nothing ever in history like what's happening in our country. And, you know, Washington, D.C. is safe, and Memphis is now. Look at Memphis. Crime is down 60% in Memphis. We just got there 3 weeks ago. And we're going to have New Orleans. New Orleans was we just sent a group of people there, and crime is down 28% in about 3 days. No, we do a good job, you know, and these are central casting people. These people they're very tough people if they have to be. They're very good. They're great patriots, but they are the toughest.
Dougie B with a $100 and says, wait, pause. I have an important statement to make. Pee pee poo poo caca doo doo. Okay, you may proceed. Why do people watch this show? Why? I will never understand it. Doug, I'm paying attention to your Bears, okay? I know you had a tough loss last week, but they played well. I got to give them credit. In Lambeau Field, that's a good loss. All right? I'm paying attention.
And they don't take any nonsense. And every place we go, we knock down crime. Too bad that we're not invited more into Chicago, because we could save Chicago very quickly. But even that, we're doing it on a minimal basis until, you know, at some point we'll just go in and do what we have to do if the governor doesn't wise up. They got a bad governor, they have a bad mayor.
Okay.
I would say they're both incompetent, but it's hard to believe that people don't want to stop crime. We could stop the crime in Chicago in about 2 weeks. Go ahead.
My question is on the gold card. And I apologize if I missed the answer to this. Is there a limit to how many gold cards these companies can buy?
Howard?
So the program is part of the already approved visas. So we're just going to have great people come into this country. You know, the average green card holder earned less than the average American. So they were more likely to be on the dole and be on our assistance programs than average Americans. And the idea is from President Trump, he wants to raise it, bring in the best people into America. So same visas, but now just full of the best people.
Basically, it's a green card, but much better, much more powerful, a much stronger path. And a path is a big deal. Have to be great people, but much stronger path. And it also, in addition to that, helps companies, because not only for companies, but
Roll Tide.
If IBM gets somebody number one in his class at the Wharton School of Finance, and you're dying to get the person, but you can't guarantee the person stays in the country, because oftentimes they'll say, I'm sorry, sir, you got to get out of here. You have 24 hours, right? And you say, where's my employee? Now IBM can buy a card and that employee can be there for essentially a very long period of time.
Mr. President,
It's so needed for the companies. You know, it's needed for others, but really it's basically a much better form of a green card. And you can't get green cards. They are impossible to get. This is much better than a green card. Yeah.
Yeah, so did you tell Bruce Lincoln not to run for governor or that you should think about not running for governor?
I haven't spoken to, first of all, he's a friend, she's a friend. These are two great people running. In a way, I hate to see them running against each other. I hope they're not going to be damaging each other. But Elisa's fantastic and Bruce is, they're two fantastic people. And I always hate it when two very good friends of mine are running. And I hope there's not a lot of damage done. Sometimes it works the other way. The victor ends up being much stronger because of it. A lot of times that happens in politics.
You think it's in a couple months to actually see who performs?
Well, I think in New York, we have a convention toward the end of February. And I think you'll know pretty much at the end of February what's going to happen. And I'll probably have to, do what I want to do. But I hope that he's running now, as you know, and she's running. We have two very talented people. Either one should win against the Democrats.
Mr. President, the President Legacy story lately focuses on one of your cabinet members predicting that you're going to fire this one or you're going to get rid of that one. Of all your cabinet members, who would you perceive as the most under attack?
Well, I think my cabinet's fantastic. I read the same stories that I'm unhappy with this one or that one, and I'm not. I think the cabinet's done a great job. I read a story that I was unhappy with Pete because he was attacking drug dealers. I said, that's not exactly right. I would say very much the opposite. Pete Hegseth has been phenomenal. I read a story recently, I'm unhappy with Christie. I'm so happy with it. I mean, we have a closed border. We have a border that's the best border in the history of our country. Why would I be unhappy? She's fantastic, actually. No, we have a fantastic cabinet. Really fantastic cabinet. I mean, Lutnick, I'll have to think about. No, can't have everything. Can't have everything. He's doing great. Well, Howard's done really well, and Scott's done really well. We have just a fantastic cabinet. I'll tell you who's doing a great job is Linda McMahon. We're bringing education back to the states where it belongs. Education is going, we can't do any worse than we're doing right now. Let the states run it. If you go back to some of our states that are run so well, so good, I would say 40 of them. And then you'll have trouble with 5 and you'll have bigger trouble with another 5. But you have 35 or 40 states that will run education as good as Norway or Denmark, Sweden. We have some, the heads of the list are Denmark, Norway, Sweden, a few others. I think if you go to Iowa and you go to Indiana and you go to, I can name a lot of states, I think it would be almost the equivalent or maybe better. But you can't run a school system in Iowa from Washington, D.C. Yeah.
Sir, the Gaza plan, when do you expect to announce members of the Board of Peace, the leadership of that?
Well, we'll do it early next year. And the Board of Peace are it'll be one of the most legendary boards ever. Everybody wants to be on it. It's mostly going to be, I guess, we weren't thinking about it that way, but they want to all do it. Basically, it'll be the heads of the most important countries.
Mr. President.
They all want to be on. It wasn't really planned. We thought we were going to get very distinguished people that do that kind of thing for a living. But really, it looks like it's turning out to be, they want to be on the heads, the kings and the presidents, prime ministers, they all want to be on the Board of Peace.
Mr. President, on the video follow-up to last night's rally, can you clarify, you have called the affordability crisis as a Democratic hoax, but you also want to make America affordable again?
No, the word that they use is a hoax, and because they're the ones that caused the problem. I'm talking about when you're trying to say it a different way. That's pretty simple, though, if you listen. It's a hoax where they created the problem. They're the ones that gave the high prices. So when they use the word affordability, they shouldn't be using that word because they're the ones that created this problem. They created the highest inflation in history, and they created the highest prices in history. And now we have to get those things down. But when they go, they look and they say affordability. They never discuss it. They just say the election's about affordability. Well, it may very well be. I think it's also about still the border. You have to remember the job. You know, the sad thing is for 7 months, we've had no people come through our border. Nobody can even believe it. 0 people. And the people that do that are largely Democrats, which the people that do the stats. We've had no people come in other than coming in legally. But if you take a look, and nobody wants to talk about that. In fact, last night I said, let me talk about the border. My own people told me, sir, nobody cares about the border anymore. You've fixed the problem. I said, do I get a little credit for fixing a disaster where millions of people a month would flow into our country, and from prisons and from gangs and from drug dealers and mental institutions? They say, sir, you fixed the border. Nobody cares. I say, but I care. It's sad when you fix something and then you can't even use it. You can't talk about it. My own people don't want to talk about it anymore. But very simply, the Democrats created the worst crisis of inflation that this country has ever had. And with that came the highest prices that we've ever had. And I'm fixing it.
Mr. President, has Secretary Hexon told you why he hasn't released the video of the second strike?
No, he hasn't told me. I thought that issue was dead. You're surprised you bring it up. You must be CNN.
Lawmakers are still
Are you
talking about it
CNN?
on the Hill.
Are you CNN?
I am a CNN.
Oh, gee, I'm shocked to find
The
out.
lawmakers are still talking about it on the Hill.
Well, I'll tell you, I don't know about lawmakers. Which lawmakers are you talking about?
Just the Democrats have been talking about trying to release
I
it.
mean, the people that you work for, the Democrats? You know you work for the Democrats, don't you? You're basically an arm of the Democrat Party. Thank you very much, everybody. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh man, Trump is one of one. Nobody like him, dude. It's crazy. Ort says football sucks, so does soccer. Minister Vaughn thinks as if anyone's list doesn't include the year without Santa Claus, they are a fraud. Period. Jimbo says Jeremy needs a better background tax. Oh no, I like my simple background. It's just simple. I like it. Phil says pigtails now, or you support Candace. Vault 95 says CobraCast just saved me. I almost watched the Timcast video. Ooh. And Jeanette says, hail Jeremy. Rugby is the manliest and toughest sport on the planet. Current World Cup holder is South Africa. 2031 USA hosts the World Cup LFG. What's up, Aunt Jeanette? A-Rod says Candy O Simps are worse than Groypers. Jimbo says Jeremy Mage needs a cure tax. Ladybug says, here's my latent gay tax. Packy Proton says, would add either Santa Claus movie or the movie Ernest Saves Christmas. Phil McCracken, IDOT. I like how you got IDOT in your name. You says, are we J-Dots now? Probably. Packy Proton says, who's had more failed predictions? Candace Owens or her conspiracy theories, or the Kathleen Kennedy and her unreleased Star Wars movie list? It's pretty close, but there's a common denominator there. Daniel says a misogynist. God. Packy Proton says D. Bud Martin wants to know how much Mossad pays better than Mod pay. It might be. Sean Off says, Tim always reminds me of Pee Wee Herman saying, beg me, Tim, don't quit podcasting. Beg me. He's not quitting. And that's what's annoying about the whole thing is he's not quitting. Let's see. Andrew Sierra says, Jeremy, how or where do you get this free money? I would also like free money. Free money is good. Dougie B says, toughliest. Really, Beardo? Did I read it the right way? I don't have the super chat now. Hang on. Did I fuck it up? Now I got to go check. And Jeanette's member message. Did I mess it up? Did I say toughliest? Manliest and toughest sport. Did I say it wrong? Do we have to go back and get a review now? We got to get a review. I got to go get a review now. Now I'm curious. All right, let's see. Hang on. We're going to try and see. All right, hang on. Jeanette says, "Hail, Jeremy. Rugby is the manliest and toughest sport on the planet." Okay, I did. Fuck. I did say it. Damn you, Doug. Why you got to put me on blast like that, Doug? Why you got to put me on blast like that? Thought we were cool, man. I'm sitting there supporting your Chicago Bears. And to top it off, you call me Beardo, which is just disrespectful. You corrected yourself, though. I did correct myself, but this is the internet, man. You don't get a second chance on the internet, all right? Ladybug says, "Can you get me connected to Mossad? I like money." I like money, too. Toughliest is going to be the newest meme now. Zero says, "Shalom. I don't know what you're saying, Agent 199. You'll get the rest after you know what is taken care of." Andrew Sarah says, "Jeremy can't afford a haircut." Packy Proton says, "I never want to see Sweeney on this channel again. Wait a second for a rant. Tee-hee-hee." Okay, first of all, did you just say tee-hee-hee as a grown-ass man packing protons in a super chat? Grown men don't say tee-hee-hee. You don't say tee-hee-hee ever. Ever again. Don't do that. And on top of that, I had to read you saying tee-hee-hee, which makes me worse. Vault95 says, "Well, I saw Timmy video anyway because I reacted to it." Midnight Light says, "Only Jeremy would come to Jeremy's defense." Midnight Light says, "It's the holidays, Jeremy. More retail stories." Vlad says, "Bro, you missed the Mossad meeting for this stream today. Now I need to defend your absence on to Netflix Yahoo again. I got your back, no worries." You know what's so funny is the anti-Israel crowd really can't stand how much it's the equivalent of when Piers Morgan says, "Did you mean these things, Nick Fuentes?" And Fuentes is like, "Yeah." Because it's the point. It's like when people want me to be offended over something, I intentionally won't be offended over it. And so the Mossad, anti-Israel accusations and all that, or the pro-Israel accusations, it's like, it just makes them mad when you don't care. And so that's what's funny about it. Mark Andre Royce is security and Cheeto tax. Joe Bitts says, "Try the new RFK Cheetos." I have not tried them yet. I have not. Kevin Spears says, "Hey, Candace is naturally a loudmouth. It's in her DNA, if you get me." Patriotic Eagle says, "To enlighten the mood, I borrowed your Homer Simpson FYM meme, and anytime I post it, the wokesters get triggered. Hail you for sharing that meme. It is a great meme. It's a great meme." Packy Proton says, "Looks like Erica has 3 Super Bowl rings on her hand. Either that or brass knuckles." Sally says, "Here's some fig tax and hail the 199. Luis says, "Add me to the lawsuit, gay boy advanced." Jimbo 199 says, "Jeremy, you willingly hired Beardo and Ben. You ain't making it through Discovery if you sue us." I love when you guys are putting IDOTs and 199s in your name. It's freaking great, man. Kevin Spears says, "I love Donald Trump. I don't care. Make him king, please. Make him king." Gremlin says, "Elon is going to Mars with just him and women and will colonize the planet himself." That sounds like a hell of a life. Rob says, "Looks like Epstein grand jury transcripts just were released." I saw a few reports, but I haven't been able to track anything down yet, so I'm keeping an eye on that. Ministry of Wrong Things says, "Please put Beardo's face on that song and play it whenever Beardo screws up on a super." River Miles says, "Dude, you got Adele sitting next to you." Little Jim Sailor says, "Crockett says she don't need MAGA to win Texas." Yeah, good luck with that one. Corn Boy, thank you for the member message. Red Walker says, "Nicki Minaj been posting Trump a lot lately. Is she just MAGA now or not genuine?" I can't say. I mean, I personally don't trust her at all, but I don't know much about Nicki Minaj. So Bebop says, "Chat deserves better. I deserve better. John freaking Murdoch deserves better." I agree. Jim L says, "We are beating Okie, Jeremy. Roll Tide, roll." Bebop says, "Apparently John Murdoch's money means nothing when you get massage checks. Pigtails fig. Do it." I did it last night. The Lego Batman Goon says, just feeling giving your grifting, let's say, just feeling giving your grifting ass money. You probably meant just feel like giving your grifted ass money because I'm a sheep who doesn't value his own money. Hail the 199. And I appreciate that. As long as you can afford it. Never take food off the table, though. Ladybug says, toughliest tax. Packy Proton says, gotcha, tee-hee-hee. Lord Botha says, Jeremy's the toughliest, tee-hee-hee. Holy shit. Elite Super Grunt says, tee-hee-hee. Packy Proton says, tee-hee-hee, lives matter. Storm Shadow says, only fix a tee-hee-hee out loud on stream. Fuck me. I should have never called you out for that shit. And we are at the end, ladies and gentlemen. We got another stream tonight. So I will stream 1 hour before Mario Kart. So I think, well, you got Bro Science, you got Ryan is live, and then I'll be live, and then we'll have Mario Kart. So you got streams for the rest of the day. So I will see you guys a little bit later. And I have more stuff to talk about too. So tonight, probably what, 7 or 8 Eastern? I'm in an Eastern time zone now. So 8 Eastern, I think I'll be live again for CobraCast. Then we got Mario Kart World. So it will be fun. So thank you guys for the support and hanging out and for the memes and all of that. You guys are the best. So thank you so much. Have a great day. We'll talk to all of you later. Bye, everyone.